who do you trust less? Private corporations like Google that are already.
Well, I guess he's talking about the government versus the private industry. I don't know, personally, I don't have a problem with government if we just elect decent people. So, the fact that we just keep electing liars and cheaters and frauds and fakes is what makes government suck. But, yeah, if you elect an honest man, government can work pretty good, right? So I'm not afraid of government. But, I mean, yeah,
What do you think the NSA is doing with all the data that they collect? Like, because they really seem to want to keep doing it, but
Well,
they
they're
only say
running
that it's for like
algorithms.
anti-terrorism.
What are you afraid of the NSA? What? We know what they want. They want to kill fucking Muslims. Is this all that
Yeah, I'm not saying I have a problem with it, but
complicated?
it
So
seems like they might want to do something more with it. I'm just wondering what you think they want to do.
deal with it. Yeah, they want to do whatever's politically
There would
convenient.
have to be a dictator in charge of the country in order to direct them to do that.
Well, it wouldn't be directing.
Only a
Obviously,
dictator, tyrannical person in power can take control of the NSA and use it for evil purposes.
you stupid fuck. You wouldn't need a dictator. All you need is an asshole in charge of the fucking CIA, because the CIA obviously is going to be able to get access to all that
I
information.
mean, a guy like Chris Christie.
Exactly, but I'm just saying, all you need is some, asshole who's going to have the keys to the car, and then the car is going to do some wacky shit. But I'm just saying, it's not. I don't feel terribly threatened that the U.S. government, like I said, if the U.S. government's out to get me, they can make the fucking shit up, right? They can say tomorrow, they can have a conversation where they tie together two pieces of clip where they have me talking to Osama bin Laden, right? They can have, oh, we have a recorded conversation you were talking to him about, what his favorite porn was and all this other bullshit, and yeah, we got you, fucker. And then they'll throw a bag of cocaine in my house. I mean, they don't have any problem fucking me up if they want. If the government wants to come and get me, it can get me with no trouble. It doesn't need real evidence. It can make it up.
Did you hear, though, that some of the ridiculous things the NSA was doing, like they were trying to get in a Second Life and find people in that, and the World of Warcraft, and like it almost makes me feel like they in some instances don't know what they're doing.
Well, I'm just saying they know what they're doing.
The reason why they did that was because terrorists go on those things because it's an anonymous place to talk. That's why the government went there. It's because they knew people were using that because it's a place where no one ever looks.
Well, no, and they obviously they have profiled these people. Okay, they know what these losers do. You don't think they have extensive profiles on these people? And what do you think those little Boston lunatics were? They were like a cliche example of dumb Muslims. Okay, right? I mean, they were dumb. They were probably in fucking Second Life talking about blowing shit up.
Well, I know the one was a major conspiracy theorist, and he hung around those kinds of places.
So I'm just saying, trust me, okay? They might be idiots, but I'm sure they have pretty good profile data. They kind of know what the game is, in terms of what is likely the disenfranchised, disgruntled little petty weasel who's going to turn into a terrorist. They probably have pretty good data on that shit. And so, yeah, and they're profiling. And, yeah, it sucks, but guess what? Who cares? I don't.
Gary, do you have a problem with the United States spying on a country like Germany? Because that was something that Snowden revealed. That was a big deal. And Obama, he did a big speech, and he had to apologize to Germany for doing this. So, I mean, do you think it's, 50 years after World War II ended, should we stop spying on the rest of the world?
Well, I have no interest in doing any of this shit, to tell you the truth. So personally, I would abolish the CIA and abolish the NSA. I don't have any interest in us playing war games with the world. So I don't think it does any good whatsoever. I'm just saying this is the nature of the petty, idiotic world we live in, where we have a petty government that wants to play petty games and tit-for-tat games and all that kind of bullshit. And I say, fuck all that shit. If we don't fucking piss people off, then they won't want to kill us. So why don't we try to be the good guy instead of the bad guy, and then no one will try to kill us.
So do you think if we stop spying tomorrow, do you think China and Russia would just automatically stop spying as well?
Well, who cares, right? What the fuck good does it do? You don't have any evidence that spying does any fucking good. Does it do any good to put landmines here? Does it do any good to drone people? Does any of this shit do any fucking good? I'm arguing, no, it doesn't do any fucking good whatsoever. Know what you should do? You shouldn't let a bunch of Arabs come over here and learn how to fly airplanes. Maybe that would be the thing to look out for. But other than that, yeah, who the fuck cares? I'm sick of fucking x-raying shoes and looking for whatever this and whatever. Fuck all that bullshit. You're lame. As soon as you go down that road, you're wasting your time because you're not going to stop anything major. But I'm just saying, I don't give a fuck either way. I don't care if the government listens to every fucking conversation I ever had. I don't care if it's got my fucking toilet. You know, it's got a microphone hidden in my toilet. It's okay. They can listen to every fart. They can go ahead. Go ahead. It's all yours, fuckheads. You want to listen to what comes out of either end of my face? Doesn't matter. My back end, my front end. You're not going to like any of it.
I think another thing they reformed was now that all the data they collect, instead of the government keeping it, now it's going to be in the hands of a private company, where they have to go to court to get the warrant and then go to the private company. So
it was in the hands of a private company anyway. I'm sure they weren't storing the information anywhere else but with Halliburton computers or something. So I'm sure it was already being privately stored.
Or they were just working with Google and Facebook. They just team up with them. And I mean, so that's why it's kind of silly, because these companies have been doing it all along, and these people are using Google and Facebook, and yet they're all upset about the NSA, even though Facebook and Google are doing the same exact thing.
Well, and wasn't Snowden the private contractor anyway?
Well, I don't think so.
Yeah,
but
he worked for a private company at Booz Allen Hamilton. That's
Yeah.
the government outsources to them.
Right.
Yeah, most of it is now, I think.
Well, I'm just saying, obviously that's a big flaw in government anyway. It's that it's all this corporations making all our warfare shit and shooting all our missiles, and NASA and everything. They sold out everything. So yeah, we don't do anything as a government anyway. But again, I'll just say, this isn't what I worry about. I worry about a cop coming to my door, ringing my doorbell, which I don't have, while knocking on my door, and he throws a bag of cocaine on the floor and says I'm arrested. That's what I worry about.
So you're way more concerned about the local tyrants than any national.
What I'm saying is I'm more concerned about the fact that they can at any minute make the evidence up. Okay? They don't need to spy on me. All right? They can fuck me without me ever doing anything wrong. They can make the evidence up.
I mean, that goes for another private person could fuck you too, right? Private person could plant drugs in your house and then call the cops, say you're a drug dealer, and then they get a warrant, because they believe the tip, and then so anyone can fuck you over.
That's some hope then, okay? Because guess what? You could at least go to a judge and you could say, look, I'll take the polygraph test. Okay, I didn't have anything to do with this shit. I don't know where that shit came from. You have no evidence of me buying it, so you'd have some hope of defending yourself against that. But I'm just saying, when it's your word against a cop, you're fucked.
Yeah, I remember when they installed tip lines on my school after Columbine happened, and you could rat on anybody, and they would haul your ass down to the office and go through all that.
Yeah, so I'm just saying that is more dangerous in my opinion. Having a world where you can't prove your innocence. Like we really should work on this whole idea of having a reliable lie detector, because people need to have a way to defend themselves against the false accusers. Enough political crap.